the same thing with characters that are able to pancake against Palu, is that it can be pretty awkward if you don't know how to properly attack that. So we're going to see Noko have to figure out how are you going to be able to deal with these low profile lanes. And we're going to see Allegro try to abuse that as much as possible, likely here.
This win condition over for Greninja is just going off of whiff punishes, and then if you are Palu, like just try to be consistent and try and win neutral as much as you can. But here we go, going into game 1 here is going to be Noko versus Allegro, and winner of this is going to continue to move on into top 24 losers, where the loser of this, their tournament run is over. So there it is.
We are seeing incredibly patient play from Allegro to start. We see him didn't even throw out an attack for the first couple of seconds, just using that movement to try and force out an option from Noko. And we're seeing it be even to start here, as Allegro is going to try to force some corner pressure.
Just going to force the corner pressure here. If you are Noko, you are looking pretty good here and just applying the pressure on the ledge right here, but Palu able to get back.
Yeah, another thing that we are seeing Allegro do very early on is utilize that ledge trump back air, one of Greninja's strongest tools, able to take stocks early, able to put opponents in really precarious positions. But we're seeing Noko do a pretty good job of playing around it, getting off ledge relatively early. However, you have to be always aware of that down tilt. It's just very, very scary.
Yeah, that down tilt, the back air off the edge here could be very scary here if you are Allegro. Now, both of these players, as you alluded to, as you just mentioned, you got to be careful with Greninja's back air too. So this could be the battle of the back airs over on the edge. So it is very important for both these players to win neutral and not be at a disadvantage. If you're at a disadvantage and you're trying to get back to the stage, it's going to be very difficult because you have a back air potentially waiting for you.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing Noko put into the corner again, but very even percent. Anything will kill from either of these players. Both of them are looking for their different kills. Allegro looking to get something out of his forward air using the down tilt, but that back air barely not going to take it, as we're seeing Allegro maneuver around Noko's corner pressure, but is accidentally going to SD and get put into the stage with his own up B. And we're going to see how Noko is able to take on this advantage, but we're seeing the explosive flame into the Nair trains come out as Allegro tries to get some way back into this game.
Absolutely. Now, if you are Noko, you do like the fact that Allegro may have SD'd there, but you can't be too comfortable. You just try to take advantage, and if you're Allegro, you can't let it get to you. You want to try and hurry up and take this stock away from Noko to try and even things out just slightly. But you do have Noko at a disadvantage right now, so now's your opportunity to try and figure something out. Oh, but not quite. Palu able to get back on it. Oh, there it is. So there goes the first stock. And you have the crowd, somebody rooting for Allegro there. Nice stock there, but you still have a long way to go, and you're at a disadvantage. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a very precarious position by Noko, almost losing your stock off of your own accord. And we're going to see Allegro start to abuse you because of that. You say you want to make one mistake. I'm going to try to abuse that as much as I can. But we're seeing Noko play a bit patiently, willing to just use small movements, use those back airs, just use moves that can just pressure Allegro. And this has been a very, very patient game. We've seen with the other two Palus today, Jurush and Arti, that they played a lot more aggressively, but we're seeing Noko play a little bit more reserved, not necessarily because Noko can't do what they can, but because Noko just approaches the game at a much different way. A lot more defensive, a lot more appreciation for what the opponent can do.
Absolutely. Oh man, that explosive fire could have been something interesting, but just missing the mark there. But again, like we're just over 100% with 2 stocks left here. Oh my goodness, that could have been it for that stock, but not quite. And there it is. That's going to take the second stock. I mean, this has just been very even. This is another one of these sets that you could look at and say, yeah, this may go to distance. We may be looking at another game 5 on stream, but that back here is going to take that second stock, and now we're back to even in stock and percentages here. Again, still anybody's game, and I think this is going to go to distance.
Yeah, we're seeing Allegro do a really good job at using his movement, but Noko able to just keep on the pressure with those explosive flames, with those dash attacks, with those nairs. We're able to see how Allegro is able to respond, trying to use fluid movement, no pun intended, to try and keep Noko at bay. But we're seeing Noko always able to find some way in a lot of the time. As, like you said, very, very close game that can absolutely go the distance.
Absolutely. This could absolutely go the distance. And you know what? I just feel like because of how even this is, and how even this matchup is, by the way, because I think this is like 50-50, or maybe like slight favorite going towards one way or the other. This really could go the distance, and we'd be in for a treat if it does. You do have Noko at a disadvantage, but Noko able to come back out of it and hit them with the Nair. Oh, that could have been a potential punish there. Both of them holding onto the shield. It just took one of them to be able to, oh my gosh, but that down air is going to take the first game.
Noko is able to absolutely steal it with that down air, and that's something that we saw that all the puzzles have been able to do today is, you know, steal some early stocks. We saw it with Noko, we saw it with Druish, we saw it with Arcti. They're just able to find these small openings and at any point be like, your stock, gone, and I'm able to abuse it as much as I can. However, a big thing that we saw was that Allegro was using really good movement, and Noko was able to respond to it by eventually forcing Allegro to make a decision.
Absolutely, you hit it right on the nail there. We're going into game 2. We're back at PS2, and if you are Allegro, I mean, it was close, but just that down air just too devastating, and that was final blow of that game. We'll see what happens with this game, but you also have to take into consideration what happened with the Hydro Pump. We're trying to get back onto the stage with that first stock. So if you are Allegro, you have to feel pretty good about it that out of those stocks, one of them is kind of your fault.
Yeah, and we're seeing almost another we're seeing a very early kill almost come out from Allegro with those up airs. However, Noko able to come back down as we reset. It's a lot of empty movement in this game. That's what it's all about. We're seeing these two high mobility characters utilize their high mobility to bait and punish the opponent. We're seeing them do a lot of empty hops, a lot of dash in and out, basically just bobbing and weaving this entire game. But both of them are so explosive whenever they are able to get in and are able to keep that pressure online.
Absolutely, and that's the game that Greninja is playing. You know, if you're Allegro, you want to look for whiff punish because that's your win condition. As Greninja, you want to try and hit and run because that's the kind of game that you play. But if you can get those whiff punish and you can start going for those extended combos and trying to go for the kill, Greninja does have that potential too, but you just have to play patient as Greninja, which is what Allegro's done up to this point. Now if you are Noko, you just want to try and win neutral as much as you can because you don't want to get hit by with oh gosh, okay, well there it is. That's going to be the first stock of this particular game, going in the favor of Allegro, but this is still pretty even.
Yeah, Allegro's able to find a lot of conversions off of his nairs, off of his down tilts, has been able to take these stocks. That's usually what Allegro is looking for, are these kills off of these stray nairs and down tilts, but we're going to see Noko utilize that back air, just using it to control space, and if you make a reckless move into it, you will be punished and sent to an early death.
Absolutely.
We're seeing Noko trying to take another early stock with that double down air, though.
Yeah, that double down air could have been pretty devastating. Not quite able to connect and land and get that stock taken away yet. But we are, again, still even in percentage, but it just looks like Noko just may have figured something out a little bit towards the first part of this game and just trying to take the lead and continue to run away with it here is Noko. And Noko does have Allegro at a disadvantage slightly, but we are back even in neutral. I mean, this is still, even looking at the percentage aside, this is still anybody's game in my mind. Like, I still feel like this could potentially go the distance.
Yeah, both of these players are able to just do everything they can, but Noko's able to take that commanding stock with the up smash, just able to control Allegro, who's been liking to drop double jump back on a stage with a nair, with a forward air, and Noko able to respond to that and go, I see what you want to do. I'm going to up smash it here.
Yeah, well, that up smash sent Allegro the distance. And, you know, just as I said, that this could go any way. This is looking like it's going in the way of Noko, at least in game 2 here. Just overlapping in percentage in stock and just playing patient and being very careful. When you're Allegro and your game is to try and go for, like, whiff punishes, like, Noko's just playing it too safe right now. Like, you're going to have to try and figure out a different approach. But, oh, that down air is going to be like, hey, you know what? No approach, doesn't matter. We're going to end game 2 the way we ended game 1, and that's going Noko with the down air and going up 2-0 in this set.
Yeah, what do you think Allegro will have to do here in order to come back? Noko seems to have, maybe not figured him out, but Noko seems to have understood what Allegro is looking for, what Allegro wants to do. What do you think Allegro needs to do in order to mount this comeback?
I think Allegro, it's tough because you already play a character where you're trying to be as patient as you can and go for whiff punish. Like, Greninja's game is hit and run, but if you are going up against Noko and Noko's just taking the advantage and, like, I guess my only win condition is to try and, like, get an early percentage and lead because, like, if you're down in percentage and your whole game is to kind of, like, wait for whiff punish and hit and run, if you are Greninja, like, it's just very hard to come back from. Just have to try and play patient, try and look for an opening and opportunity because I saw a couple in game 2 where there could have been punishes, but, you know, if you're Allegro, you still have to feel pretty good because I know game 1 we already talked about it a few times, but like one of those like stocks were taken away from the SD, and that was very close.
Yeah, definitely. But we're seeing Noko start to come back to a commanding league, but we're not seeing Nico able to convert off of the jab lock. We saw a few missed jab locks in the second game too, and that was a big thing that led to Noko just being able to live so much longer than they might be able to reasonably should otherwise. We're seeing Allegro start to not to come back as we are dead even once again in percents.
Yep, dead even, like literally dead even at 86%, which is absolutely crazy. Oh, try to go for the down tilt to the up smash, barely missing. Gosh, like if I'm a Greninja main, like you live and die. Sometimes you live and die by the up smash, and that up smash is just unforgiving.
We're going to be seeing Noko try to go for those down airs that have been helping out so much in these games. We saw it obviously take it off of game 1, but we're seeing Allegro start to get these fair confirms. Really important to taking these earlier stocks. We saw that Noko was able to live to some slightly earlier percents than you would like to if you are a Greninja player. But we're seeing Allegro start to mount the comeback with that back throw, barely not going to connect.
That back throw not going to take the stock, not quite yet, but almost. One more of those at the ledge is going to do it. But you are at a disadvantage here if you are Allegro, and that's going to be the first stock taken away from you in this game. And you have potentially 2 stocks left in this set. You have to be careful if you're Allegro. Just try and look for the opportunity for whiff punishes. You do not want Noko to win like neutral, even more so now than ever. And so far, you're just racking up the damage, and you're just going with a different approach, and it's working out for you so far. There goes the Nair trains.
Yeah, we're seeing Noko. We're seeing Allegro start to get a percent lead, but Noko able to respond to it with just these smaller but definitely big impact conversions. We're seeing Noko play very patient and using tools like that backer, like that dash attack, just these moves that Allegro has to play a lot more awkwardly around. We're seeing a bit more awkward play being forced, which is, if you're Noko, you love it because you're able to get such early stock kills like we saw with those down airs, like we saw with those up smashes. But we're seeing Allegro barely not killing with the forward air, as we're seeing Allegro to probably his best start.
Yeah, this is absolutely a very good start here if you're Allegro. You're at 120%. Like, anything can happen, but you have to be feeling pretty good about this, all things considered, and how game 2 ended. So there goes the up air. Not quite enough just yet. Allegro just trying to safely get back, able to land on the platform and safely get back into neutral here. Just waiting for that whip punish, and there it is. Noko went for the Nair, missed it, and oh my gosh, and there goes the stock. This is the win condition here if you're Allegro.
Yeah, you have to be playing, like you said, a good bit more patiently. We're seeing him be able to react to how Noko wants to approach, react to what Noko wants to do, and then go, awesome, I'm going to get a dash attack or a landing Nair or something to start my combo, get my damage, or get my kill.
There it is. Speaking of, man, almost just trying to go for the kill here. I mean, you're not going to get anything off of that back throw, but just keeping Palu at a disadvantage. So it's exactly what you want to do. Now, if you are Noko, you want to try and, you know, don't let the lead rattle you as much because you were doing pretty good up until, you know, this point here and winning the first 2 games. But if you're Allegro, I mean, now's the time to try and take this last stock here to send this over to a game 4.
Yeah, you just have to be so careful if you are Allegro here. You can't let Noko get too confident as that up air is going to take it. However, you have to be pretty okay with that if you're Allegro, living up to 150 versus Palutena. But now we are going to be in a very interesting spot to start this last stock as Noko is trying to look for a way to get those Nairs online, to get those up airs online, just to get something to claw your way back into it. But we're seeing Allegro take a very dominating start to this last stock.
Very dominant start here. We could potentially be seeing a game 4. But you see, oh my gosh, that Nair to forward there could have been it. Oh my gosh, and unforgiving once again is that up smash. But yeah, you do still have Noko at a disadvantage here, and you still have to be feeling pretty good about your chances of taking this to a game 4. But you still have to be very careful because, again, it just takes one interaction and one loss in neutral for this game to go completely the other way. So, again, if you're Allegro, you're doing pretty good. You just have to keep doing what you've done to get you to this point here, and that is going for whiff punish and going for attacks when you see an opening.
Yeah, but we're seeing the percent start to mount for Noko, and we're at the percent where you could just get it stolen. We saw in that game 1, you were able to get your last stock stolen at 61% off of the down air, but we're seeing Allegro likely able to kill off of a straight forward air or up smash here, and it's going to be really precarious for both players. Noko looking for a way to open up Allegro and put him into the corner where you could potentially steal that early stock again. Like right now, this is a very precarious position.
Yep, very bad position here if you are Allegro, but you are able to come back from it, and there it is, that down tilt to forward air is going to take the stock. end the game, and we're going to a game 4. And Allegro, you just see the difference there in that win condition, and just going for whiff punishes and just trying to make sure that Palo doesn't win neutral at any cost. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to do that the entire time, but Allegro doing much better this time and making that happen. So now we're going to a game 4.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Allegro be able to be just a little bit more patient throughout their games and a little bit more calm, not necessarily putting it all on the table with every interaction. We did see Allegro get a little bit shaken up in the last couple stocks as you weren't able to get your down tilt confirms. However, we've been seeing Allegro do very, very good in being able to find a bit earlier kills, being able to find a bit more wins in neutral, and just overall doing very, very well.
Yeah, you see Noko wasn't able to wall Allegro out with as much aerials as the other 2 games because Allegro just trying to play, to that advantage here, and knowing that that's what it takes to lose this matchup. Allegro did much better, but what's this? Just as I said that I'm seeing a couple aerial attacks putting Allegro at a disadvantage.
Yeah, we're seeing Noko start to adjust their playstyle, also being a bit more patient as instead of in game 3 we saw Noko throw a lot of aerials and then landing with them. We're just seeing Noko do a lot more, I'm just going to jump in front of you. Are you going to do anything? And they're both just staring at each other, playing a game of chicken here.
Absolutely. Well, so far, it looks like Noko's winning a game of chicken. But again, it just takes one interaction and, anything can happen. Now, one thing I've also noticed, oh, wait, what's this? At a disadvantage, there goes that back air. And there goes the explosive flame. Not enough just to get back onto the stage. Now, one thing I've noticed, as I was about to say, is we haven't seen anything too bad from Allegro ever since the SD in game 1. So, I mean, again, as long as we don't see that. Oh my gosh, that's the 3rd up smash that we've seen with.
Yeah,
in the 4th.
Barely not able to connect it. We're seeing Allegro try and get those earlier stocks. Definitely a good thing to go for, but just barely not able to find it. And we're seeing Noko, very even right now. But we're seeing Noko start to get into a bit more of a rhythm. Greninja just a fairly light character, and you just have to be very, very careful.
You have to be very careful, and man, if you're Allegro, I don't know. I think it's tough, but man, maybe it's time to abandon that up smash because it is not really working out. We've seen 4 whiffs of that so far, but it hasn't been enough to take this first stock away. Like, even if you've missed, you are still in the game here. Haven't lost that first stock. That dash attack almost took it, but not quite yet here. Able to get back in neutral, but there it is. That back is going to take it that time, and now we see Allegro with a slight disadvantage lead.
Yeah, we're seeing Noko, again, killing Allegro at a relatively high percent. That's something that Noko has struggled a little bit with in these past 2 games, is just letting Allegro live to those 150s, to those 160s, and that gives Allegro more chances to convert off of it. We haven't seen Allegro take the biggest advantage off of it, but we have seen him be able to reset more, get some more damage off of it. But speaking of damage, we're going to see Noko start to pile it on, trying to get as much extra credit as you can.
Absolutely, and one of those things, like the win condition, if you are Noko, is to try and wall out Greninja with those aerials, because what is Greninja going to do when you're stuck in the Nair train? But you do have Allegro, just understanding that, and oh my gosh, there goes the forward air, and that's going to take the stock here. Now we're at 2 stocks apiece. I mean, still anyone's game. Able to hit the soft part of that Nair, but not able to get anything off of it here. So if you are Allegro, you have to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, Noko looking to try and pile on the damage. You don't want to let this game slip out of your hands after such a strong start. But we're seeing Noko start to put Allegro into the Palutena blender again.
Absolutely, you got to be careful with that Palutena blender and the Palutena wall of aerials here, which is exactly what you want if you are Noko and exactly what you don't want if you're Allegro, because you were doing so good at avoiding them the last game here. You want to try and take that momentum over with this one, but so far it just looks like Noko slight advantage here. This was pretty even. It feels like Noko's game has adjusted slightly as well.
Yeah, one thing that we've been seeing Noko do really well out is calling out the A landings from Allegro. We've seen Allegro, once he's hit by a forward air or back air, is able to land with a back air, but we just saw Allegro get that forward air conversion, and now Allegro once again is in the lead, and we could be seeing the mounting of another reverse 3-0. We almost saw it with Symphony's Lightning, but now we're going to be seeing it with Allegro Noko possibly coming into fruition here.
And oh my goodness, it would be another game 5. You know, it's one of those things that you look at both of these characters and you just tell there's a chance. Not saying that it is going to happen guaranteed, but I mean, you look at the advantage right now and it's like Allegro slightly has it and he's just racking up the damage and he's getting the extra credit. But it's like, you look at this matchup and it's like, it really is 50-50. Like, I feel like it goes slight advantage one way or the other, and you can argue one way or the other, but oh my goodness, and with the taunt, was that on purpose?
No, we see Allegro shaking his head.
Oh.
Immediately gets punished for it with the back throw.
Oh, no.
We see a little smile coming out from Allegro, having some fun with it. But we need to see Allegro try to take this as early as possible. You don't want to see it, but the up smash, he's going to fall out of it. Noko barely not dying as a result.
Yeah, and that's number 5. So, number 5, it's the 5th time that we've seen that up smash just fail Allegro. You maybe want to take that move out of your arsenal now. I'm not sure why, but it just isn't working out today.
Yeah, it's been really unfortunate for Allegro. That forward air barely not going to take it, and we're seeing Allegro in a very dominant position right now, possibly looking to take it. We might see the back air or forward air and take it right here. Barely not able to connect the 2-frame down tilt, and we're seeing Allegro being very good about being patient. You don't want to overcommit. You don't want this game to end too soon. And we're going to see Allegro take it with the forward air as we move on to Game 5.
All right, guys. I hope you like Game 5 because this is another one. And again, it's just with these two characters, like you didn't mean to taunt.
He did not mean to taunt.
Yeah, we noticed. You know, you look like you didn't want to do this.
We
like
saw the
after
smile.
it happened, we did. But you know what happened? And it's okay. It's all good. We're going to a Game 5 here. These two characters, once again, very even. Again, in my eyes, I don't know. Somebody stop me if I'm wrong. But this going to distance, I think I called pretty early in Game 1. And here we are, Game 5.
Yes, we are. And we're going to be moving on to Battlefield. Looks like Noko is going to want to try to extend off the top platform now.
Oh, that top platform could be interesting for both these characters here. They could both have up airs that could be pretty devastating, especially Noko.
Yeah, we saw that Noko was able to take some early stocks in the first couple of games with those early up airs, as well as we saw with Druish and with Arcti, able to get some pretty early kills off the up airs, because we've been seeing that Noko has been struggling to kill Allegro until those 140s, 150s, 160s, which is just something you don't want to happen when you're against two very neutral-based characters who are able to win neutral a lot. But we're going to be seeing that Noko is going to try to lay on the pressure, maybe take an earlier stock, but we're seeing Allegro start to get the combos online.
Ooh, getting the combo online, but whiffing there just a little bit, but that's okay. Nonetheless, we're still even, and you do have Noko at a disadvantage here. Now, if you are Allegro, that third platform is going to be pretty interesting. Could go interesting in both ways, but I'm assuming that because you won, Noko picked this stage. So try and use it to your advantage too. But again, speaking of advantage, you're not in an advantage state right now if you're Allegro. You just have to try and be careful. Uh-oh, there goes the, oh my gosh, that's number 6. That's the 6th up smash that has not connected.
Yeah, it's just been so unfortunate for Allegro. Noko's been falling out of these so often, and you're just not able to, because that would have taken the stock more than likely. And it's just so unfortunate for Allegro not able to get these earlier kills. But we are seeing that Allegro is able to continue to mount pressure, and the Hydro Pump is barely going to push Noko off, but great recovery the second time around. And we're just seeing Allegro start to pile on the pressure, mounting this 3-0 comeback. The loser of this will be eliminated from the tournament, and this has been very close.
This has been very close. That backer off the stage could have been very devastating if you're Noko, but Noko able to get back onto the stage and is now doing the opposite, putting Allegro at a disadvantage, and that back throw is going to take the stock. So you have your first lead in stock in Game 5. Very important game here, going over to the side of Noko.
Yeah, we're seeing Noko trying to prevent the upset, as Allegro winning this would be a fairly big upset. Again, the loser is going to be eliminated, so it's really important that you don't get too overzealous here. But we're seeing Noko do a really good job at just forcing options out of Allegro, catching those A landings, but you're not going to be able to get the grab, and this is really scary right now. You don't want to lose your stock if you are Noko. You want to try to hold on to it and get as much extra credit as you can.
Absolutely, but at 169% now, that's going to be pretty tough. But again, that extra credit is going to be very important here just because of how this game has gone. Now you got that up throw, and that's going to take the stock. So that's enough for the extra credit, but is that going to be enough for Allegro about to come back here? We'll see.
Yeah, we're seeing Noko start to lose that lead that you were able to accrue so early on. Still holding on to it by a slight amount, but putting Greninja into the corner, but you're going to SD if you're Noko, and this is rough. You might potentially see an upset, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing Noko do anything that they can in order to take this earlier stock from Allegro. Try not to let him live for too long.
Ooh, well, SDs, they happen. We saw it in game 1, so I mean, it's tough, but you got to keep going, man. Ball up top, got to keep playing until the game's over, until the player reaches 21 in the game of basketball. But either way, that back air almost taking that stock, not quite yet. Trying to go for the down tilt potential back air, but that's not going to do it. The dash stack, not going to do it either, but that up air is going to do it. Now, as you mentioned, that up air has taken a couple stocks in this set so far. And that's going to take it there. I wonder if it's going to take it off the top platform, with this stage being the difference maker.
Yeah, we've been seeing that both players have been. It's been a bit harder to land, which has allowed both these players to be a bit more volatile with their advantage state, just able to shark the opponent. But we're seeing Allegro right now trying to put it away, trying to get as much as you can off of this corner pressure. Noko unable to get out of it. And you're seeing Allegro just trying to get it over as quick as possible. We might be seeing that up smash start to kill now if it's able to not fall out of it.
If it's able to hit, which, I mean, we've seen 6 so far, and so far all 6 of them have either fallen out or just never connected in the first place. But it would be poetic justice somehow. That is how this game is. Oh my gosh, and there goes number 7. Can't even say lucky number 7 because that also doesn't connect. Man, just forget it. Try something else. This is it. I'm sorry. I want to see the up smash take it because it's missed so many times, but I just don't see it happening.
It would be poetic. However, now you're starting to see both characters starting to get to that kill percent as we're seeing them both get into the deep red. And Allegro being thrown off stage. This could be it right here. The down tilt fair barely not able to take it, but now you're seeing them even in percent again, the dash attack, and this is really scary. And the up air is going to take it as Noko prevents the reverse 3-0 on Allegro, and we're going to be seeing Noko advance into loser's side top 24. A great game by both players.
Absolutely, man. That was so close.